Hello everyone, welcome to this video and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to guide you through the first steps of game development with Unity Engine. If you always wanted to create your own game but didn't know exactly where to start, in the next couple of the minutes we are going to create a small game together, so you didn't need to any private prior experience, and we will guide through by step through everything by end of the video. So stay on the video. So end of the video you will have built your first game, and trust me, there's nothing more rewarding than playing something you created yourself. Before we start, make sure you have installed the Unity Hub and the editor on your computer. Got everything ready? Great. So great, everything ready. Alright, take the first step in building your game. We are going to create a new Unity project. So open the Unity Hub. Click on the new project button, and here on the left side we see all templates and samples on the right side, but we want to stick on the Universal 3D because I want to show you how to create 3D project. This we call tutorial project. We want to disable because we want to don't use the Unity. So let's go create the project. Great. Now your screen look like this. Don't panic. It look like overwhelming, but I want to explain you that the most important stuff. On the right side you see the inspector. Currently there's me open, but we can close this by clicking anywhere. On the left side you see the hierarchy window, and this is a name says hierarchy tree, and you see the game objects that are in your screen. There's So we can switch to the scene tab, and this is basically your workspace where you can modify, edit, and add or delete game objects. You can move them or organize your scene. On the game tab you see this is your viewport to play the game. On the right side you have the inspector. We can click on the main camera now, and this is something like setting for the games object. You see examples, transform components, camera components. With these settings you can adjust values and modify the behavior of the components. At the bottom you see the project window. There you can all have the important stuff like 3D model, textures, sprites. So let's start creating our own game by clicking in the higher window and choose 3D object and cube. This will be the ground. For our first game we want to create a ground where we can move player and collect some coins. That's it. So this we can choose the name round. We can see on the right side this has some weird values for the x, y, and zx. So let's bring to 0, and you can see the cube moves around the scene. We can hit the scene tab and we can organize our stuff by scrolling the mouse wheel or dragging the middle part button of the mouse around. Of course we can also move the cube by using these arrows right here, but I think these values are okay. If you hit the control button and move the cube around, you see it snaps. Cool. Feel free and play around with this value. Example with the rotation of the cube or even scale. For our game it's pretty important to have big ground, so let's use the scale of 20 on the x and 20 on the z axis. Do not want the edges y axis because this is the high of everything and we do not want have to thick ground. So let's create a player by also clicking right in the hierarchy 3D object cube. I call this player, and I also want to have it right in the middle, so I choose 0, 0, and 1 because we want to have to top of the ground. Pretty cool. We have two game objects, the ground and the player game object. You see on this cube there is something called box collider. This is pretty important for checking if two objects are overlapping, and this is important. We want to check if something hit the coins. We want to create the create later. But I think we also the problem right now, we cannot differ between the ground and the player. Therefore, we want to create some materials. So to organize ourselves, you want to create a new project in the project. Right click on the project window, create and choose folder. I call it materials. So we create three materials. One materials for the player, one materials for the ground, and for the column. We already created one, so we can press Ctrl D to duplicate it. Cool. So for the ground, we can choose the green and for grass, and you see I can easily click on the base map and choose color I want. So you can also see a lot other options, but I don't think they are important right now except for the smoothness value here. You can choose if it's really smooth or it's not that smooth. I think for cartoon grass, this is correct options. But to understand how these materials work, we can click on game object right here and see we also have mesh filter components, the mesh render component. The mesh filter itself is just cube its mesh of the object. This could be, for example, the model of the player or the ground in the case. The mesh render has settings, so how this mesh filter should be displayed. For example, with the materials, so to see if this working, we can drag drop material into the materials field on the ground. For our player, we want to see red color, so we can go back to the player material and choose red. Of course, we want to hit the smoothness factor to 0. We can add also.
So we just 10 coin or until to predicate of that and move them around the scene. But if we want to have the thousand of 10 really hard work to get every coin. So we want to create a prefab and with preset value, so we can go back to asset and new folder name prefab. So we can drag and drop our coin object in the particular folder, and after that we save it. We can delete from the main directory, and here we create empty project so that uh, we can create a correctable object, and so it will be organized. I want to be all and set the parameter to 000, and we have to create a new script. So press enter to create a coin its pointers, and then we write a code. So set a few line of code and add a function. Okay, so to these are the life cycle of the function. It's the name already suggests it fired at its start, and other than the update function, this is also executed once the updated function get executed first in every frame. But for now it's okay. It's also have to its start function as we just want to coin to its start at once. So we need a coin prefab, and here we write private coin, and hereafter why to so we can have the save for the box collider and the coin amount. The box collider is from the ground, so just I called it ground. So what happened here? We want to iterate the total amount of coins and then it's upon each of them. For example, if I say I want to have 10 coins, we want to spawn the 10 coins. So for that we make the loop and creates a coin. Currently we are hitting the position with the transform position, and But we want to calculate a little bit, so let's say for its small function right here, and it is the function to calculate it. And every collider has its some bounds, and we takes amount our basic to achieve for its code to get our job done. So we just have the it's start pods and we pods in the ground collider. So this is our code to create 10 of the coin prefix, and the cool thing is, so just back to Unity, and we help correct drop and coin. So cool. We have say 10 or 20 coins that we want to pay around, but I think 20 is preferable in this context, but pretty cool. If we go to Tabson, then we can see the 20 of these coins with our period object and within the count calendar. Or and these are the coins.
You want to move camera with the player and have a little bit smoothness there, so we just add a camera and smoothness, so adjust call it follow. And yeah, players, so what do we need right here? We need that target to address. So so we need our target and smooth time. So okay, how long does it take to affect the smoothness? So as this also applies some physics, and we need also have the fixed update, and we need also reference variable called velocity. So make sure to get the right value. So what happens in the fixed update? We need to make sure have a target positions. This is normal case, the camera target position and the offset. Then we want to apply something to it, but what do we want to apply? So smooth tamp of this position. So this pretty important because we want to calculate the position in between the times between fixed updates, so it is smooth on every frame. So therefore we take the current transform of the camera, we take the car target positions, the velocity to reference, and also the smooth time. So we currently takes uh, 0 0.25 seconds smooth out the whole process. Also this is just yeah, something I like. I want to have the camera look at the positions of our target, and in this case the player. So this is a bit more immersive. So if we switch back of to Unity, we have these new settings. So for the camera target want to have to the player, as offset I want have high of 10, and the set is the minus 10. So smooth time of 2.5 is okay now. So let's play and see if the working or not. So let's press S and CAW. Nice, it's working. Yeah, it's I cannot collect these coins because that's okay. Now we will add that. We will improve our we will add multiple effects on that, and then after that we will that. You see this is trigger on this collider to affect all coins we have. Go to the parab and press the is trigger and variable. So if we hit play again, we now can overlap with these pretty cool. Now we want to destroy the game if we called them and add some points to player. For that I just have the coin script. I just create a new coin and new script, and there we are checking if someone entered our trigger. So for the we have the own trigger enter function. So there Collider path and Collider has some very valuable information about the other game objects. So we just call other see okay is there is want to check he is okay player enters. So here is player handler and we say ph and see okay we get the component of the other. This will not arise an error if there is no player handler on that, but we can check if this null, so it's not null, we know okay this is the player, one player is enter our collider. And for that we can easily okay we want to increase our points, so we just call the function increase points. Also we want to destroy these game objects, and so we can not double collect the same coin. You see this raid function is not there, so let's create this method. Nice. So the increase points does nothing but yeah, so the name says increase points. Cool. So let's head right to unity. So you see there's coins, and now if you never write they disappear and the game object is destroyed. Cool. So where are my points? So you see on the play handler there are no points. There is because we not have serialized them. Remember, did not mark the variable as serialized, so fill so it is them. So enter the debug mode to private variables. Within this, click on these little three dots and choose debug, and there you see points for because collected for coins. Let's see live in action. If overlap in another coin you see got 5 points. So great, it's working now. It's a lot of fun now. See, you can it is working everything. So you can learn many things. And guys, if you like our video you can please subscribe. It is it's a it's a basic game and it looks professional, and we can make more games. Please like and subscribe. So we have completed our game programming project 2. My name is Anil Kongde, MCA B division. Bye.